Now, I'm not really one to do snapshot videos. I tend to watch other people. I haven't intended on making snapshot videos myself, but today is different. See, as I was watching a video to get the update on the 1.19 snapshot, something really intrigued me. And that thing is this disc right here. This disc is number 5 by Samuel Aberg, I think is how that's pronounced. And I can't help but feel that this disc is telling a story. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, let me give you a little bit of background. In case you are unfamiliar with the 1.19 update, there is a new biome that is called the Deep Dark. This is the Deep Dark, which houses the ancient cities. There is a lot to these structures, and I'm not going to cover all of it today, but basically all you need to know is that this forms deep underground. There's this skulk that can spread when mobs die, and by making sound, you will trigger a shrieker, which will spawn one of these guys, the warden. There's been so much work going into this. I'm very excited, and I'm even more excited now because of this disc. To explain this further, let's find the center of the city. Okay, so it looks like the center of this thing. Whoa, oh my gosh. Okay, there's coordinates in the seed for you guys. The portal in the center of the city spawned in a lava pool. Is this obsidian normal? Don't feel like it is. Okay, this is insane. Anyway, we don't know what this portal does, but if we go down here, there is something new that has been added underneath, or at least it was in last week's snapshot, and that is this room here. By standing on a special spot in here, so about right there, you will trigger this skulk, and you will be able to enter this room from down here. There's basically just a bunch of redstone contraptions and stuff. This seems to indicate that there was some experimentation being done on redstone, including skulk sensors. This will come up later. Now, what they added in this week's snapshot was this new disc, but it's in a different way from before. So basically, instead of getting a full disc like this, you have disc fragments. And if you get 9 of these, you'll be able to make this full disc. Now, the story I am presenting today isn't something I came up with on my own. Part of it came from a stream I watched from Phil's of Minecraft. If you don't know who he is, he's a Minecraft streamer who has a long-standing hardcore world, and he does some other stuff, including reacting to snapshots. Now, in exploring last week's snapshot, he found that hidden room and said it looked as if there was some redstone experimentation going on, and he also made a realization about the skulk, which I'll play the clip real quick.
I just realized something. It spread because everyone died.
I believe Phil's theory is correct. This skulk spread because this entire city was filled with people, and then something went wrong with the skulk. They are experimenting with redstone and whatever the skulk is. Now, there is also another interesting theory out there by Game Theory, or MatPat as you might know him. Now, in this theory, he made a connection between the end portal frames and the skulk. They have a very similar color palette, and he figured that the warden may have been made as a protector to the end. Let's roll another clip.
The green texture of its skin is practically identical to the material used for end portal blocks. It was created, it was built, but built for what?
Maybe they were built as guards to supervise or protect the end portals.
And actually, I think this checks out. See, if it's true that the people in the city were experimenting with the skulk, if they made the warden will attack anything that's alive. And so in making the wardens, these people brought about their own doom, which leans on Phil's realization that the skulk is from all of the people that died in this city. Now, MatPat also went into the fact that there are souls in the warden's stomach. I'm not going into that today. That has nothing to do with my theory, which again is about this disc. So now that I've given you some background, I think it's about time that we listen to this disc. Alright, and now the moment of truth. Here I've got a recording of the disc. We're just going to listen to it piece by piece, analyzing what sounds we're hearing, and at the end I'm going to tell you guys what I think is going on here. Have a bit of an ominous beginning. Now that right there sounded like a flint steel. And a bat. So this to me is signifying something like maybe someone traveling, someone is exploring, they've just lit a fire, they're in a cave somewhere, something like that. Walking. Now that right there, I'm not entirely sure what that is. It seems to be iron boots, something heavy, could be an army almost, iron golems perhaps, but there seems to be a lot of something marching or going somewhere. So possibly as if a tribe or a civilization's a community of some sort is traveling through this cave and perhaps going to settle down. Okay, this part is a little interesting. I'm not entirely sure what all of the sounds are there, and it is interesting because it has this almost as if maybe the warden is just popped up. There's something weird or ominous here, and then we kind of get this rewind sort of sound effect, and now we go into this nice little music section. Now that to me signifies an era of peace. If what I've said so far is correct, we've got a civilization that has come and settled down here. There's something a little eerie, something not quite right, but they have this little moment of peace. You just get this idea of peace and tranquility, but then it changes. Got some lava. Walking. That was an amethyst block right there. Either an amethyst block or a crystal being set down. Or possibly walking over it. I'm pretty sure it was being placed, though. That little... I'm making a terrible sound there. Sounds kind of like a squeaker in the distance, maybe? Someone coughing, and we had a little bit of tinkling, almost like metal. This makes me think metalworking. Again, this is just my personal thoughts, though. Running. We get a little bit more reverb, and that's either breaking or placing stone is what that sounded like. Hey, editing bliss here. So I just realized that that reverb sound that we're getting throughout the entire thing could actually maybe be a portal. Perhaps even the portal in the center of the city. I'm not entirely sure about that, but just thought I'd put that thought in here real quick. Back to the original take. Ominous boom. Like something's coming. Running, walking, hurtling, placing. Now, do you hear that grating sound? Right here. That sounds like someone graving something into stone. Almost like they've got like another sharp rock and they're drawing on stone. That's what that sound makes me think of. And you have this ominous sound coming. Let me keep playing it. Slow walking. Placing blocks. Shrieker. Now, what filled this here, I get the idea that's kind of just ominous. They drew on the wall. They were trying to get away. You could hear them placing dirt. And then the shrieker. And the warden. Now listen carefully to this part. This is the part that I find interesting. Now, when I first heard this, I don't know what you may have thought, but I instantly thought of the Ender Dragon. Listen to this again. It's not exact, but there's especially a part at the end that especially makes me think that this is the sound of the Ender Dragon. This downward fall. You can hear crackling. And then right here, Da-da-da-da. You hear that? Like explosions. Something being destroyed. And that, it just trickles out, and that is the disc. Again, another note here. Upon watching over this again, I've realized that it could also be like a portal powering down, perhaps that center portal. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Ender Dragon, but I feel like it could be the end portal or something powering down. I don't know. Just something interesting. So what does this mean? Well, I think no matter what, it is clear that Mojang is trying to tell a story. The story of a people. People perhaps oppressed, or maybe just seeking a new life. Finding a cave, a place to settle down in. In this place, they thrived. They sought knowledge. They discovered much and increased in technological capability. But soon, it became too much. The power they sought soon overcame them and brought destruction to their own people. And now it lays, beyond even our understanding. And yet it exists, still a threat, lurking beneath the surface. But hey, I could be entirely wrong. I'm not entirely sure, but I can't help but feel that Phil's discovery was right, that a people used to live here, and that they came to some terrible end. And the disc seems to suggest there is something to Matt Pat's theory, and it's not something I can just entirely shake off. Now, I would like to make it clear, I'm not entirely sure that that sound at the end of the disc is the dragon dying. It sounds similar, but it's not right on. What I do think, if anything, is that it represents something dying, or someone dying. That is the feeling I get when I listen to that, and the fact that it is similar to the Ender Dragon dying, it gives me those vibes. But hey, can we start a conversation down in the comments below? Do you think I got any of that right? Am I completely wrong? Did I get some things right? Please give me your thoughts. I think it's fantastic that we are getting this story from Mojang. And you know what? As we're discovering it, maybe the devs are too. Maybe they don't entirely know what's going on. Maybe it's unfolding before their eyes, just as it is unfolding before ours. Ooh, geode. But either way, guys, that is the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like. It helps me out a lot. The subscribe button's also down there as well. You should check it out. It's pretty cool. But either way, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for joining me on this little adventure, and I will see you next time.